this last 2 days?
24th of March, Rabbi Levitt, Pele Yoetz.
Okay.
Nissan.
Okay. Yes. So we're here. We're analyzing this Mishnah over here, like a Gemara, and we're taking a look at the Rashi on this Mishnah. This is a Mishnah that the first Mishnah, first line that Pele Yoetz quotes over here. He quotes this Mishnah in Avos, Perek Beis, Mishnah Aleph, the first Mishnah, and so that's the first thing that he says. So that's what's called Hefsid Mitzvah. Calculate the Hefsid Mitzvah that there is. You lost the hour, so you didn't make your $1 million business deal. So, but for that hour, you learn Torah. Can you imagine what reward there is in Olam Haba for the fact that you learned Torah for an hour? It's a lot more, says Rashi, than the $1 million that you could have made on the market. So that's what it means, Hefsid Mitzvah. Now the next part of the Mishnah is Schar Aveira Keneged Hefseda. It's so interesting that if you take a look at the words of the Mishnah, really, it's very, very. You think that it's. I would have thought that if it wouldn't be the Mishnah saying this, I've said I don't like the weight of the usage of these words. What does it mean? Calculate the loss that you incur for doing a mitzvah. That's not a nice way to talk about a mitzvah. And it says and think about the reward that there is, the good thing that you get from doing an avera. Is that the way you're supposed to think? But those are the words of the Mishnah. But so let's see what this means. The schar avera. Okay, albeit it does say, think about this the schar that there is for an avera keneged, which is opposite the hefseda, the loss that there is that in that avera that was done. Rashi says over here, schar avera shatad nehena ba. What's the schar of the avera? You get some type of a pleasure. You get a hana. That's why the person does the avera. Generally, at least a frum Jew, that's the reason why he does an avera. If there's no benefit to do the avera, chas v'shalom, we don't do the avera. We care about the Torah. But if there's a hana, then it becomes an issue. So that's the schar of the avera. So think about the hana that you get, or that not that you, because we're not talking about people that do averas over here. That Ploni gets his hana from that avera, and keneged correspondingly hefseda. What's the hefsed for an avera? Says Rashi, she'ata asid lahafsid ba, that in the future you are going to lose out because of that avera that was done. Ploni is going to. And so therefore, he doesn't elaborate over here. He doesn't want to scare us. It's very interesting. And the Mishnah also, it calls it hefsid. It doesn't say anything about onish. It just says hefsid. The hefsid that one incurs, Ploni incurs, as a result of doing the avera, and it's not an immediate hefsid. It's only a hefsid, the asid, says Rashi. In the future, there's going to be a hefsid. And so therefore, what's the upshot? What's the point? That if an avera comes to your hand, in bo avera liyodcha, al tasena, don't do it. Even though you know that there is a some type of a material or some type of a benefits that is gotten from doing this avera. Ki hahefsed she'asid lavo alecha harbehu, because the loss that is going to be incurred by Ploni, I having done this avera, is harbe, says Rashi. That's the cheshbon. Okay, so that, I think that's very good. Okay. So what we learn over here from this Mishnah is that we have to make a cheshbon. Oh, cheshbon. Okay. Okay, we did that Mishnah, and now we can go further. We can go further, and we're going to go all the way to the other page, 367. We already gave a round of applause, but since we're doing it again, we'll give another round of applause. Hooray for page 366, which had that important Mishnah on it. And now we go to Behold. On page 367, we call upon Alan to start the reading.
Behold, this is a ladder which stands on the ground to ascend the mountain of Hashem and to stand in his holy place. From doing a mitzvah for ulterior motives, one will come to do it for its own sake. A person will come to understand in his heart it is proper to serve Hashem, not for the sake of receiving reward, but rather exclusively to provide satisfaction before him, for there is no reward greater in the world than this, that the great, exalted, sublime, awesome, and fearful Hashem desires that a man who is compared to nothingness should serve before him, and that his deeds will be pleasing and a source of contentment before his throne of glory. What honor and greatness does a man acquire when a king of blood and blood desires in him, raises him from the dust to stand and to serve before him, finds pleasure from the serve, and delights in him. How much more so is it an incredible and infinite goodness for us that the King of Kings, Holy One, blessed be He, desires us, receives satisfaction from our actions, and builds supernal worlds with good deeds. One who being own reward will only be more than enough. With that, it would be that if we are worthy of some other reward in this world and in that world, that will make it providing satisfaction for our Maker. It's a good reward. You should know that this is so, for behold, the sages said 1 hour of pleasantness in the world to come is better than all of the life of this world. And even so, they said 1 hour of Torah and good deeds in this world is better than all of life in the world to come. Fortunate is the man who finds wisdom and reaches the spiritual level, for this is all of man.
Okay, very good. Okay, so this is the idea that comes out over here, that we start off with doing mitzvahs, and it's a ladder which allows us to, and we're standing on the ground, and we're supposed to ascend the mountain to go high to a Kodesh Baruch Hu, and stand in his place of kedusha, and how does this happen? From performing mitzvahs, and we're talking about what type of mitzvahs that we're going to do over here. that is going to cause us to ascend this mountain and go and stand with Hashem in his holy place. From doing mitzvahs for ulterior motives. Because Chazal say that from doing a mitzvah from arterial motive, the kedusha, it will let's not talk about how it works. However it works, but the Chazal say from doing mitzvahs even shalol lishma, that will bring to a person to do the mitzvah lishma. And what does it mean to do the mitzvah lishma? He seems to be saying that what it means is that he's doing it in order to he's doing it for Hashem. He's not doing it for himself. He's not doing it for what other people will think of him. He's doing it for Hashem because he knows that Hashem desires this from him and derives a great nachas ruach, a contentment Hashem has from this that a person does the mitzvahs. So therefore, one should always do mitzvahs, even if his intention is not with those high levels of intention, but for other reasons as well. But of course, not to use it as a means to deceive or harm other people. Of course not. That's not the type of shalol lishma that we're talking about. But we're not hurting anyone. We're just hoping perhaps we're focusing on other benefits that we might get from doing the mitzvah. But we should nevertheless do the mitzvah, because even a mitzvah like that is done like that, Chazal tell us, will eventually lead be'ezus Hashem to doing a mitzvah which is l'shem shamayim for Hashem. Okay. Right, and that's the and then but really he's talking really about the schar mitzvah. That was the whole idea over here about schar that there is for mitzvahs. So that's the part that we see over here. A person does the mitzvah for Hashem is an infinitely greater schar than the schar that he gets for doing for ulterior motives. But nevertheless, that's what we're talking about over here. There is a great reward for doing mitzvahs lishma, but to do the mitzvah in order to get the reward, well, if that reward that a person is thinking of is like David HaMelech said, because he wants to be close to Hashem, and he knows that this is the way that he can do it, to be close to Hashem and get the spiritual pleasure from being close to Hashem. That's what David HaMelech says, and that's what we say in Hello before Rosh Hashanah, that we're looking to do mitzvahs in order to become close to Hashem and feel the great pleasure of being close to Hashem. And that apparently is Madrega as well. Okay, fine. Let's go to the next paragraph and the next subject. And a round of applause for Schar Mitzvah. Hooray. And also for page 367. Hooray, hooray.
Hooray. So it's a samech, I'm sorry, a sin with a seirei under it?
Yes.
And then underneath the chaf is a kamatz,
Segel.
segel,
Three dots.
seichel. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Segel. Okay. Okay, so Roy is up next. Seichel. Please.
Seichel. A man will be praised according to his intelligence, that he should have good intelligence in order that he goes the way of good people, and he stays on the path of the righteous, the intelligence that he conducts himself with fine and upright attributes in the eyes of Hashem and men, and knows how to relate to other people according to their character, and does everything that is good and distances himself from everything that is bad. His intellect will be king over all of his inner and outer limbs, all over them, to guide and direct them on the upright path, and that they should abandon their bad habits regarding actions that should not be done and undesirable character traits. They will do everything that uncompromised intelligence dictates. He will not rebel against his mouth, and his evil inclination will not rule over his intellect. And he will not acquire a master for his mind. Someone who lacks intelligence suffers great evil, for the way of dusty by the shirt of their feet.
You skipped the line, Roy.
Well, yeah, I did. I'm falling asleep. Someone who lacks intelligence suffers great evil, for the way of a fool is straight in his eyes. At least he should go to the sages, become dusty by the dirt of their feet, and drink their words with thirst, and learn or listen to their lessons. Perhaps there is hope that he will acquire good intelligence. The sages in Vayikra Rabbah already said, if you are lacking intelligence, what have you acquired? Intelligence is good to everyone who behaves and conducts his affairs according to the proper understanding. This is not so for a person who does not act according to their intelligence and the wisdom which Hashem has bestowed upon him. When he increases intelligence, he increases pain for his unintentional sins are considered like willful ones. And as our sages in Piskei Zuta and Nitzavim said, a wise man should praise his wisdom with this. Let him know Hashem and do what is good and upright. Also see Yirmiyahu 9:23.
Oh, right. So here we have an interesting idea. We have two words over here. We have three actually. We have an English word, which is the translation, which is called intelligence. And then we got the words that the Pele Yoetz uses. He uses the word seichel, and he uses the word das. And in our Nusach Ashkenaz, of course, that's the first thing that we daven for in the Shmona Esrei. That's our first request. Atachonen lo adam das. You are the one who bestows graciously a person that he should have das. What do we mean when we say das and seichel? Is that the same thing as intelligence? Well, it's actually not. If you would ask somebody, is that person intelligent? People say, oh, well, yeah, he has a 212 IQ. His name is Albert Einstein, right? He's very intelligent. But when we talk about seichel and we talk about das, over here, he's quoting the Pele Yoetz, a chazal. If you have acquired, if you have not acquired das, if you haven't made an acquisition of das, then what was it that you acquired? in this world of which is any value. It sounds like this is what you gotta acquire when you come into this world, to acquire it. Well, if it's just a matter of intelligence, all I got to do is, what do you mean? I first of all, I didn't acquire it. That's the way I was born. I got a 212 IQ, and so that means that I'm intelligent. But that's not what. So what I'm showing you is intelligence is not das, and it's not seichel. What is das, and what is seichel? What seichel is like the Pele says, a person who conducts himself according to the Torah, and he's a person who conducts himself according to the Torah. He exercises caution to stay away from averas, and he acts in his dealings with people with good midos. That's somebody who has seichel. That's real intelligence, meaning he's using his intelligence. Maybe we could say like that. Someone who is really using his intelligence, then he's going to come to understand that what he's got to do is do Torah and mitzvahs. But somebody that doesn't come to that, he's not effectively using that raw intelligence that he has. Because if, like we said in the previous section, if you make a cheshbon, if you make a calculation, be an accountant, make an accounting. What's the reward for a mitzvah? What's the hefsid for an avera? If you do that, so then if you have some intelligence, of course you're going to only do mitzvahs and not do averas. No. So why is it that a person does an avera? Well, Chazal say because a ruach shtus came inside him, a spirit of foolishness that the Yetzer Hara told him to do this in avera, and he didn't make a cheshbon. He didn't say 1 second, Yetzer Hara, I gotta make a cheshbon over here. What am I gaining by doing this avera, and what am I losing out by doing this avera? If he makes a proper cheshbon, so then why is he going to do that avera? Doesn't he know that 1 and 1 equals 2, and 2 and 2 equals 4? So why does he make the cheshbon? It's even forget about the he's obligated to do it. He's not obligated. Blah 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 blah. But does it pay? Does it pay to do it? Doesn't even pay. So really, it's the use of his intelligence, which is what we're talking about when we talk about seichel. To get the intelligence he does have to rule over his Yetzer Hara, that tells him to do things that are really not worthwhile, and he don't get so much benefit from them. You get a lot more the opposite of benefits. Hefsid, you get too much. You take a big loss. Does anybody want to take a big loss? No one wants to take a big loss. Obviously not. So that's seichel, and this is so in other words, the das is the acquisition. So in other words, das is something that's to be acquired. It's not something that's you're born with. Not born with das. You have to acquire it. So the way to acquire it is to make this cheshbon, to use the intelligence, the use of the intelligence to make the cheshbon, and to be strong to always make that cheshbon, and not say I'm not going to make this cheshbon because I'm interested in what the Yetzer Hara has to sell. No, don't. That's not using intelligence. That's not using that. That's turning off the intelligence. That's saying I don't want to hear about what what intelligence dictates over here. That's not intelligence. That's acting against one's intelligence. That's not an intelligent thing to do, to act without intelligence. So the kinyan, the acquisition of das, is to be able to come to that realization that by using the intelligence that we understand and realize that this is the true, this is the right way. This is the correct, most beneficial way for us. There's no doubt about it. You make the cheshbon. Okay.
So what does it mean when it says his inner and outer limbs?
Oh, yeah, I didn't talk about that. Inner and outer limbs. Where does it say that?
Near the beginning, his intellect will be king over all of his inner and outer limbs. He will rule over them. To God,
okay.
correct them.
Okay, so you want to know what does he mean by an inner limb as opposed to an outer limb?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, I see. V'seichel yiyeh lemelech. So to use the seichel, that's the power of his seichel. The power of his seichel is to be the melech and rule over the evorim, over his limbs, hapnimim, the inner ones, v'hachitzonim, the outer ones. So you want to know what are evorim pnimim and what are evorim chitzonim? That's a good question. I would say like this. I'll take a guess. Outer limbs are our physical limbs. Our which do the physical acts, But the inner limbs, you know what the inner limbs are? The heart, which has desires, which has aspirations, which has feelings. And we need to use the seichel to rule, not really mainly over that main inner limb, that heart. And if we're able to do that, so then to be able to rule over the outer limb, the hand or the eye, that's it all starts with the inner limb, in other words.
I see. Thank you.
Very good. Okay. We got 5 more minutes. And a round of applause for Seichel. Baruch Hashem. Yeah, this is a famous pasuk that he quotes over here. Haskell v'yadoa. A person should it doesn't mean that he should be arrogant or haughty or conceited, of course, but he should have the only word I can use to describe what he needs to have is darf haben a stolz. You know what that means?
No.
You have to have a stolz. You have to have a pride in the fact that you are a Jew, and you're not only a Jew, but you're a Jew who does what a Jew is required to do. A goy could also be proud that he does what a goy is required to do, right? A goy is also required to do mitzvahs. May not know it, but he is required, and so He's proud that he knows that this is the substance. This is the whole of man. That he knows what the Hashem wants from him, and he does it. And that's what you can be proud about. And that's what this pasuk that he's quoting over here is. A wise person can not. The pasuk says that he's not supposed to praise himself for his strength or his wealth or some other attribute such as that. I don't remember what all the pasuk says. You could look it up for yourself. But he should praise himself that he has this chachma, and that chachma is to have this Yiddish stolz. Or if he's a goy, he can have a goyish stolz. You could also do that too. But the richtige stolz, the correct pride, the pride of being a person, whether he's a Jew or a non-Jew, who does the Ratzon Hashem. He knows what the Ratzon Hashem is, and he does it. That's what Shlomo Melech ends off with. That's the whole sum total of man. And with that, we've now reduced our time left to 2 minutes. The 2-minute warning. Okay, and now we go to Shem Tov, and a round of applause for Seichel.
So it's a say
Now,
under the shin.
Now you've got time for.
yes, Seiri under the shin.
And a cholam in the over the vav.
Yes, Shem Tov. Okay. We could say this Mishnah that he first quotes over here. Lou, would you like to start?
We have learned in a Mishnah there are 3 crowns: the crown of Torah, the crown of priesthood, and the crown of kingship. And the crown of a good name surpasses them all. This is referring to a person whose deeds and perfection of character are praised in the gates. There is no need to publicize his deeds or for him to praise himself. For behold, it is written, a stranger should praise you, but not with your own mouth. But not your own mouth. Rather, a person should do all of his actions secretly and exclusively for the sake of heaven. In the end, the honor will come. Even though a person does what he should do, that indeed it is proper to conceal his actions with total secrecy and to flee from honor. In the end, the honor will come and chase after him. And the Holy One, blessed be he, will publicize his good deeds. This is what is written. Can a man hide in concealed places and I will not see him? Our sages interpret this as, will I not show him to others? Whatever a person does in secret, whether good or bad, the Holy One, blessed be he, exposes it, and the man acquires either a good name or a bad name. The Jewish nation, if they are not prophets, they are the sons of prophets, appreciates every person and recognizes every man for what he is. A person is distinguished by his wallet, his cup, his anger, his words, his gestures, and in every way in which he appears to others. If his actions are pure and upright, if his inside is like his outside, or if he is one of the hypocrites. A wise man discerns this easily. Even if he is able to deceive people for a short time, for a man sees with his eyes, in the end his shame will be exposed and nothing remains hidden in this world.
Wow, fascinating concept. Nothing remains hidden, even in this world. We're not talking about Olam Haba. I think he means to say in this world. There's some type of a spiritual flow of information, of knowledge that people, he says, the Jewish nation knows. They know, and they appreciate a person who even though he does things that no one knows about, but people know, so this is a very amazing idea that he has over here.
But it doesn't seem like a good thing to me. We don't want honor. Honor is not good for the health of the soul. We really want to not get the honor. So why is it saying that if we try to avoid the honor, we get it anyway?
Yeah, it's interesting. It seems that the way the Pele Yoetz is explaining, the honor, which is not good honor, is if a person seeks after honor. If he's seeking after honor and he's interested in receiving the honor, and even if he's not actively receiving the honor, but he's looking behind his back to see if anybody's noticing what he's doing. So that's the type of thing. We are doing the mitzvahs not really for Hashem. I mean, not 100% for Hashem. I mean, of course, I mean, there's madregas and madregas over here. But if Hashem will give a person honor, so okay, so then your question is, well, but then we're saying it's not good for the person that Hashem is giving him the honor. He may become conceited and arrogant and haughty. Well, Hashem is not going to give honor to a person who's going to become conceited and haughty. He's already, this person has already shown that he's not interested in that. He's interested only in serving Hashem, and the honor that we're talking about that Hashem gives to a person, that people recognize that this person is a person like this. That's not going to be a hezek on that. That's not going to be a damage to that person, because he's not. He will flee. True, he will flee the honor, because that's his natural response to when he comes in contact with honor, of course, right?
But
so correct. You can't say that Hashem is going to give him something that's going to be harmful for him as a reward for the fact that he's doing things according to the way he's supposed to doing them. Correct.
But it almost seems like the Pele Yoetz is saying that don't worry, when you forego your honor, don't worry, you'll get it back anyway. Which is not really, it shouldn't be a motivation. The motivation should be, I'm doing this in secret because I don't want the honor, and I'm not happy if you tell me that I'm going to get it anyway.
Mm-hmm. So I guess maybe what you're asking, so what I've answered you so far is that a person who Hashem is going to give honor to, he's not going to become arrogant or conceited from it. So there's no real fallout from it.
Right.
Right. He's not enjoying the honor. He's not getting pleasure. He's not getting any pleasure from the fact that this honor is given to him.
Right.
So he's not going to have any fallout from that type of honor that's given to him. What you might ask is, why does Hashem want to make it so that people do honor him, though? This is what it means that Hashem is giving honor to the person. What does that mean? It means that he makes other people honor him. So why is that? That's a fair question. Why is it? What's the point of it? What's the point of it? The point of it is that we should honor people like this.
Uh-huh.
And why should we honor people like that? Because that's our value. We're not honoring him to give him honor. We're honoring that he is such a person. That's what we're honoring.
But how do I know?
That's what you're supposed to do. What do you mean?
Well, let's say I find out that, Ploni Almoni is really, a very noble person that behind the scenes, he does lots of stuff.
Okay.
And therefore I want to honor him. But how do I know that won't go to his head? Just because of the fact that he did it secretly, does that tell me that it won't go to his head for sure?
Mm-hmm. No, of course not. But
So maybe I shouldn't honor him.
well, what we're talking about over here is that Hashem is decreeing that this person is going to get honor. What does that mean? Not just that one person decides to honor him, but there is a general honor that the Jewish nation gives to a person, to this person. So one person that honors if you choose to honor Ploni because you found out that he does many good things that no one knows about, so what's your concern? Maybe you're causing him damage?
Yes.
Okay. What if I would tell you that you're putting a stumbling block before him to feel himself to be superior?
Right.
Oh, we're out of time over here. My wife is calling me. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Rabbi. Maybe
Hi.
we'll continue this a little bit next time.
Okay.
Good Shabbos.
Have a good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos, everybody. Good Shabbos to Lou and Roy and to Alan.
Good Shabbos. Thank you.
Shabbos,
Chodesh
Roy.
Tov.
Good Shabbos, Alan. All right, I'm going.